Welcome back to episode 16 of Where Baggies Walk. How to beat Norwich is the question, of course, we're asking this week. And according to XP, are the Baggies over or underperforming this season? We'll have a look at that statistics from Opta. And for the final time, before we talk and get into January transfer window chat, we're asking these guys to, one final time, review the summer transfer window. Also, if Corberán was to be snapped up by Southampton, which other Championship manager would these guys want in charge? Hypothetically, of course. Let's talk about Norwich, though, first of all. Good to have proper football back, first of all, Dan, isn't it? International football, does it do anything for you?
Nah, not at all. I don't really watch the international games unless it's like a big tournament or something. I'm not really interested in like the Nations League or anything. Yeah, it's always great to have like your club team back.
Okay. This one is an interesting one, Norwich, because they've got, well, before the break, they've had 6 main players out. Obviously, they've got the league's top goal scorer. Well, this features the 2 league's top goal scorers in Sainz and Madger, of course. But yeah, they are winless in 5, Aaron. So this possibly could be a good time to play them. What do you reckon?
Potentially. I mean, Norwich are always a good side regardless of form. I mean, I think with a few injuries, maybe they're on a weaker side, but, I think regardless, they've got a good enough squad to put up a good game, regardless of who they put out in their 11.
Let's have a look at your side then. This is the side, of course, that started and won at Hull 2 weeks ago. Ben, you can kick this off. What changes do you make, if any?
Well, if none of the other defenders are fit, you can't really change the back 4. I wouldn't really change the centre midfield either. The only one I've been looking at maybe bringing out is Fellows again. He's not really done a great deal the last couple of games. Maybe bring Dean Garner in potentially just to mix it up a little bit. But Johnson, I think, has to start, and Grant supporting manager again is another one that has to be in there. So I wouldn't make too many changes, to be honest. You don't really want to change a winning team. So Fellows is the only question mark, maybe.
Okay, Dan.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Fellows, I think he's just a bit short on confidence at the minute. Since the Millwall game, he was just in their back pocket all game, and he couldn't really work his magic down that wing. I think that's really, really affected him because he just seems to not have that confidence anymore to take his player on or even get a crossing. I think he done it once against Hull. But yeah, I don't think I'd really change much on that side, probably apart from Fellows.
Okay, droppers, what you think you would do? Opta have released the XP for all the teams in the Championship. So this is, of course, looking at the XG in games, both for and against. It then is worked out. It's calculated the expected points total that each team should have. Now, you are the only team in the Championship where your XG is exactly where your XP. Your XP is exactly where your XG is. 21.2 points there actually has you eighth in the division. So in terms of this, Aaron, do you read too much into XG or XP? Are you a fan of the new way we're going in football statistics?
No, I mean,
does it tell you much?
I think it takes you a while to look at that graph and sort of reckon what's going on.
Well,
I mean, a lot of colours and a lot of numbers. A lot to work with there.
Yeah, if you look at it, Millwall are 3rd in the league based on XP in terms of how many points they should have got based on what's happened in games. It says a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, well, to be fair, Millwall have played well. They've done they've won a good few games recently, but you wouldn't really expect them to be high in terms of XP or XG. You don't really know.
Ben, in terms of the story of West Brom games, you're neither underperforming or overperforming in terms of this one. But would you say that most fans, if I asked them directly, would you say that you've been underperforming certainly in the last 6 draws?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think if you look at how strong our home form was last season, we have dropped a lot of points there already this season. So from that respect, we have underperformed. Our away form has been a little bit better, but we still dropped silly points where we could have more points on the board, and 5 or 6 more points have us comfortably in the top 2, I think. So from that respect, it's a bit frustrating, but to be 5th still, you can't have too many complaints.
Absolutely not, and unbeaten, of course, as well, Dan. We've moaned about the draws, but it's still there's not many teams are going to come to Hawthorns and get anything this season, isn't it?
No, we're actually pretty solid, like at the back. I mean, like we will give like the odd mistake away, but we sort of rectify that with how good our defence is. But it's problem is the other end. Well, we can't score at home, which will always be concerning, because your home ground is meant to be like the fortress, but it just hasn't been Fortress Hawthorns at all this season. So I think that's the only really concern that I've got at the minute of us playing at home. Playing away, it's fine, but yeah.
Okay.
Fortress Hawthorns.
The last time I asked you about the summer transfer window was, I think, at the end of September, and you kind of said, "Look, you can't ask us now. We haven't seen all our players because Corberán wasn't starting any of them, was he? He didn't have to. He just kept the same team." Now we're ready to start talking about January transfer window. I'm going to ask you one final time to grade the summer transfer window now that we've seen most of the players. So from 1 to 10, Aaron. How well did the recruitment team do?
I'd give it like a good 7.5, maybe an 8. I mean, I think a lot of the players are top quality, especially Hegum. I think, if you compare the price you paid to him to the performances he's given off, you've done the recruitment team done very well there. I think with Stars as well. I think we only paid about $500,000 for him, and he's coming to the team now, making that position his own, settling in nicely. He's actually playing some nice football with him there. Johnson's sort of a bit of a hit and miss at the moment. I think we paid a bit too much for him. If you base off his performances that he's given out this season so far, I think you'd say you paid too much for him. But other than that, it's pretty good.
Good shouts, Ben.
Yeah, I'd say around a 7. Yeah, I think out of the 9-10 players we signed, there's only Hegum. That's your guaranteed starter, really. The rest are sort of squad players, and granted that is something we needed to get in, because I think we struggled with that last season. So in terms of sort of the squad overall, we have improved. Styles looks like he's going to be a useful player to have, and I think the jury is still out on a few of them. Rakic, I'm not too sure about still. I'm not seeing much of Cole still. Holgate's come in and done well, so there's definitely positives from them. Yeah, so I'll say a 7. Yeah.
Dan.
Yeah, I'd probably go with 7 as well. It's like Ben said, look, we haven't really seen much of some of the players. Like Frabota as well, he's just been left out in the cold. Devante Cole as well. I kind of feel sorry for him. But all the games that we was drawing, and that just needed that someone who could probably come on and change the game. Maybe it could have been Cole. I mean, against I think it was Burnley, he come on for like the last 10 minutes, but he was going to come on for like the last 20, but he got told to sit down. So I did kind of feel sorry for him then, but yeah, we haven't really seen much of them players, but apart from Hegum, he's been the standout player.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that. You're all pretty much where you were before. Last one then. Manager merry-go-round season is upon us because it's international break and it's the last chance that chairmans have to roll the dice before the next one. If Corberán was to be approached and was to go to, let's say, Southampton, hypothetically, before you all start typing in the comments, which other Championship manager do you highly rate that you would want at the helm? By the way, when we asked this to lots of other Championship teams, most of them have said your manager. So, Dan?
There isn't really anyone out there that I'd want if Corberán went. I mean, Pep Guardiola looks like he's going to lose his job soon, but I can't really see him at the Albion. But yeah, there really is no one out there at the minute.
Not a single one. Okay.
Oh.
Aaron?
If I had to pick one, it would be Michael Carrick. I think he actually, every time you've seen Middlesbrough play at the Hawthorns, the players off the park. I think when they came early in the season, they beat us. Then it's the worst we've looked all season. So I think it shows how good of a manager he can be, especially when he lost since he's lost some players from last season. I had to use a smaller squad, I think, as well. So he's doing quite well. So yeah, if I had to pick anyone, it would be him.
Okay, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite tricky, really. I think a left field one I think I'd go for is Danny Roll at Sheffield Wednesday. I think in terms of styles, it's quite similar. They do try and play a similar way. So if you were trying to sort of transition to a similar sort of style, it'd be quite a good fit. I think young up and coming manager. I think he'd be a good fit if, well, hopefully not if he lost Carlos.
Okay, it's all hypothetical, of course. I'm sure even if Southampton rang, he wouldn't be interested. I'm sure he's staying where he is. Right, you three, thank you very much for this week. Enjoy the game against Norwich. We'll be watching. Thank you very much for watching. Drop that subscribe button a quick press before you go. We'd really appreciate it. And we'll see you the other side of the Canaries game. Thanks for watching.